Hi, yeah. Good morning. I hope you're all well. Um, just looking out the window. Sun's out, bloody cold, which is why I'm sat in here with a jacket. So it's not. Look, I think we're over the worst of the winter. At least I like to think so. And I should be looking forward to booking a holiday very soon. I'm sure, because I absolutely detest being here at this time of year. But and to get over it, I need a nice, good summer holiday. In all honesty, so there you go. Um, okay. A little bit of catch up this week. I think as you all know, for months and months and months and months, I've been suffering with rib pain, and at times it's been excruciating, bizarre, zappy. It began November last year with a zapping nipple, and I literally couldn't wear any clothes at all on the top without putting a band-aid over my nipple. That's how bad it was. So it gradually calmed down and it sort of settled into, I suppose, a dull ache, which kind of went sort of from the nipple round the rib towards the back. And I haven't really done much about it. I spoke to a GP about it, and he said it encouraged me to get an ultrasound done and all the rest of it. It's not that kind of pain, and I may have health anxiety, but I can't keep on paying out for medications or procedures because nothing's free here. So you do have to pay. Cancer patients pay, diabetes patients pay, children pay, OAPs pay. So we don't have the the freebies that you get in the UK. So it costs money. It's got to a point, or it got to a point last week where it was just so annoying. It's not a debilitating pain, it's just really annoying. And after a little bit of research, I decided to go and see an osteopath. So I could have seen a physiotherapist, I could have seen a chiropractor, but I thought, no, I'm going to see an osteopath because reading between the lines, that was the best person to deal with this kind of whatever it is, condition. So anyway, like the rest of Australia, if you want to make an appointment, I made an appointment on the Monday morning and I saw him on the Monday afternoon. So money talks. If you pay, well, you do have to pay anyway. You can see a doctor or a specialist as soon as possible. So I had a 45-minute appointment, and I think it was about $150. But I have got private insurance, so they did cover 50 of that. So I paid $100 in effect. And I went in and I kind of explained everything to him, and he kind of looked at me bemused, and he's just like, "Oh," he said, "This is an odd one." And I said, "Well, you're telling me it's been going on for a long, long time." And he said, "It sounds nerve related." And I explained that I had a chest X-ray done, and it was they discovered mid-thoracic disc degeneration, or the beginnings of. And he said that may have some bearing on it because the nerves sort of go round from that part of the spine all around the ribs up to the nipple area where they kind of end. So there might be something pinching nerves there. I'd done my own research, as I always do. Dr. Google's fantastic. So I was kind of pointing him in different directions about what I'd tried and what I'd wrote, and what I'd read. And I was really trying to sort of, I suppose I was trying to get a diagnosis. That's what I was trying to do. So anyway, he listened intently, and we started doing a number of tests. I had to take my top off. He looked at my back, and he said, "Oh," he said, "you have a curvature in your spine, which may have some bearing on it." I didn't know I had a curvature, but I do. And then he did a lot of manipulation. So I had to, he did some twisting, and where you sort of sit facing him and he sort of twists you around and you keep your core as straight as possible. And then he did, I suppose, like a massage on the back, on the front, and initially it felt good. It did. But that happened on the Monday. Today is Thursday, and that pain I experienced all those months ago kind of appeared on my right side, and I thought, oh no, what's going on? What I reckon is where he's done his treatment, whatever you call it, he's kind of released the left side, and it's kind of, I suppose, can it move? I don't know. I need to talk to him about this on Monday because I've got to see him again. And it's now appeared on that side. I suppose, he's released it one side and it's appeared somewhere else. And it was the same sort of pain I was getting all those months ago. He kind of done a diaphragm release, and he also did some kind of muscle release in different parts of the body. So yeah, and so it's just been annoying again. The left side feels a lot better, in all honesty, but the right side feels painful. It's just like, well, it's not painful. If you touch it, it's fine, but as soon as you release it, you get this kind of like rebound pain, I guess you call it. So I don't know really what it is. He thinks it is nerve related, pinched nerve, whatever it possibly is. Intercostal neuralgia, which is inflammation of the cartilage between the ribs. So I got really itchy nose today. So yeah, I don't know, but he mentioned intercostal pain. So, and that's what I'd sort of come to the conclusion of as well. And but the fact that he has actually made it better on the left side is quite telling for me. So it's I don't think it was anything sinister. It was literally what can I ever say? A musculoskeletal problem, and that was the main issue, I believe. Aches and pains. Still got the aches and pains. As I said, they do come back in the winter. So when we have the winter here, they tend to get a lot worse, and that's just old age, really. And that's just me saying, I'm 55 now, or my body's saying I'm 55 now, and you're going to have to put up with this. So I quite understand that, and I've got to be careful with what I lift and what I do and what I, sudden movements. Daryl was talking to me yesterday, actually, and he said, you know what? He said, when I have a bad back, it's not a case of I'm lifting something and my back goes. He said, I could be doing the most mundane thing, just move slightly wrong and my back goes. And that's it, really. I don't have to be doing anything particularly strenuous for me to get back pain or some joint to go or whatever. I'm like walking to work yesterday and my knee started to hurt, and I thought, so I sometimes wear a knee brace because that tends to help. I do have high arches as well, so although I wear proper footwear now, never used to in the UK, but I do here, and they help a lot. So a lot of the pain I used to get with my feet have just gone completely. Hockers, so they're called Hoka Gaviators, and wonderful shoes, really expensive shoes, but they do the job and they do it really, really well. Can't complain. And I will always buy those shoes. I never ever wear anything else now. In the UK, whatever possessed me, I was wearing cheap shoes. But then again, I wasn't getting paid so much, so I couldn't afford to buy expensive shoes. Here, I can afford to buy expensive shoes. So, yeah, absolutely. But they have done the world of good for my feet, for sure. I had a message the other day from someone else. How my eyesight was. Do you know what? Since I saw the specialist, I don't really think about them anymore. To be honest with you, he gave me like the green card to say, you've got a while before anything drastic will go wrong, and told me the signs to look out for. And I'm more fully aware now than I ever was. So my eyes are fine. See my optician as much as possible, and just go from there. Do get a lot of dizzy spells. I actually put that down to anxiety quite a lot, and the environment I work in is also in a centre, so it's quite closed off. There's not a lot of natural light as well, so that doesn't help. And I know I've read about this online, but for your own well-being, you should get as much air as possible each day. Today I'm sat in the family room and the sun's sort of blazing through, and it's lovely. Still cold, mind you, but it's nice to see the sun. I do suffer with SAD, seasonal affective disorder. I hate the winter with a passion, absolute passion. So yeah, it's lovely today. As I say, just a little bit chilly. Everything else is good and fine. Can't complain. Diet's going well. I'm not on a diet anymore. I'm on a maintenance thing now. And when I look back, when I first started the losing weight in it was COVID time, just before COVID time actually. So it was about 2019. And we're 2026 now, and I started off at like 120 kilos, and now I'm down to, today I weighed myself, was 72. A little bit higher than what I would want, and so I'm trying to at least maintain that. Maybe lose a little bit more. I'd like to get down to about 69, but people look at me and just say, look, you look fine. In fact, they always say the same thing, you're looking a bit gaunt in the face. Always, that's where, when I lose weight, it always goes in my face anyway. So I just, I look a bit old. I still got that paunch, the belly, and I've put that's the IBS. I suffer with IBS and I suffer with bloating. I've had gastritis, I think, as I mentioned in previous vlogs, and that has been particularly painful. I've come off the PPIs now because they were really, really awful things, and they were making me feel quite sick and dizzy. So I did now. That seems to have calmed down now quite a lot, so I think I gave it enough time to heal. If it comes back, then I'd be back on the PPIs again. I do know now that I can buy them over the counter here, so that's also a bonus. But the thing about PPIs, because they do cause long-term damage, you really have to do them for a short period of time. And I was on mine for a month, and that's probably 2 weeks longer than what I should have been. 2 weeks really. But, I was still feeling that pain, so I came off them after a month. And I know some people actually here as well who have been on PPIs for years. But the long-term damage, including neurological damage, is really, it's not good. And I was on them in the UK for a long, long time. And I used to take Peptec like by the gallon as well. When I first had or diagnosed with gastritis. And that is a big regret because I should never have done that. I even said to the doctor here, I don't want to be on them long term. So he understood that. And 4 weeks. That was it. Everything else, all good. This week, I'm kind of busy as usual. Um, I have to say, I want to get back to doing more writing, but because I've had this sort of pain I've been dealing with, it's kind of put me off writing a little bit, and it's a little bit easier for me to talk to you via a video link, and the reason is to do with posture. So when you're on a laptop and your posture's quite hunched and you're hunched over in effect, it causes a little bit of damage. And even the osteopath said to me, he said posture is a real important one. And he said if you are using a laptop, you need to be sat upright, and it needs to all be ergonomically designed. And if you're writing like me at home on a sofa or on a table, which I do rarely, it's normally on a sofa, it's not great for my my posture at all. So I've got to kind of move away from that really. But once I get an ergonomically designed workspace, which is never going to happen, it will be fine. Mind you, we are doing the family room. You can see the orange wall, which I had anyway, and this is like terracotta on this side now, where the picture is above. We've got an orange sofa coming soon. Daryl's done the decorating. We have new cabinets. I've got new cat trees coming. But I've got another one coming as well. So we're trying to do a bit of decorating now, which we haven't done since moving in, and we should have done, But I think neither of us have been feeling particularly well as we've reached our 50s, so that's kind of put us off a bit. But as I get into a better space, good headspace, hopefully that will change with a bit of luck. So also looking at cruises as well. So I've been thinking I do need a holiday, but I really fancy doing a cruise. Looked at world cruises. I mean, they were excessive, but I've got my pension now. I could buy it if I wanted to, but no, I wouldn't get the time off anyway. But it's something for the future. I know my aunt's done a world cruise, so I ideally love to do one, but not quite yet. I need to be fit, healthy, and all of that before I even consider it. So that's about it. Thanks for all your messages as well, asking about how well I'm feeling, and get well soon messages. Thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I think it's 70% health anxiety, 30% real pain. I suffer pain more than most, but I think that's just the anxiety, and it sort of amplifies it a little bit. So anyway, whatever you're doing, have a good one, and it's always good to chat. Ciao for now.